The best way to predict the future is to create it. It's on this note that I welcome you on the program Feedback on NTA Parliament. It's great to see such an active engagement from community feedback highlights both the successes and challenges that still needs to be addressed. In today's episode, we will be featuring Obed Shehu Paul, the lawmaker representing Kaltungo Shogom Federal Constituency in Gombe State. This and more after the break, and my name is George.
I am Distinguished Senator Anthony Siakoyaro, the Senator representing Gombe South Senatorial District in Gombe State. Please watch NTA Parliament on DSTV channel 370 and GoTV on channel 126 for effective representation. Watch the program Feedback so that you get feedback from your representatives.
Without further ado, we'll set the tone of the program with the background feature. Let's watch this. Nigeria's strength lies in its diverse community and the youth in this heart of Gombe State. The Kaltungo Shogom Federal Constituency stands at the crossroads of the community with its rich history looking towards a better and brighter future. Kaltungo and Shogom Federal Constituency is a vibrant youth population. Here, the aspirations of the youth are as diverse as the landscape, from craft to entrepreneurship, empowerment, and from education to agriculture.
Shongom is well known in the production of cash crop such as beans and maize. Just few, but many, but to mention few. Please, I would crave the indulgence of the honorable member to ensure that agriculture is taken with much seriousness.
Farming is one of their heritage. The journey is far from over, but the steps taken today will define the future of Kaltungo Shogom youths of this region have the potentials to lead not just their community, but the entire nation towards a better and brighter future. Amidst the backdrop, unity and solidarity is of importance as communal harmony, coexistence and understanding is paramount. A break beckons and we shall be back shortly. Stay with us as we continue to explore your feedback. We dive deeper into the issues that affect you. This is where the voice shapes the composition. Let's meet the people on the streets.
Honorable Dr. Paul Obed Shehu, that you should try and empower the youth. We have so many youths that are unemployed. Government can no longer take the responsibility of the youth fully. And so if they are empowered, they can be self-employed. It will be a great hope. It will help the community, it will help the youths, and it will develop them. And it will also help the younger one that is coming up. And so that's my plea to him. I know he has been doing a lot. He has done a lot. And so I'm still pleading that let him help the youth. They are the future of tomorrow. And I also want to make an appeal also. There's a road that we have in our community that is in a bad and terrible condition. That's the road from the Palace of Mai down to Poshereng, Popandi, Lapan, Karel, Bo, around Sohongeri, Kalorgu. That road, I know, is a state road, but I still plead with him to be a great hope if he can help. I don't know how he's going to do it, but I pray that God will give him wisdom.
To the honorable member, Honorable Dr. Obed Paul Shehu, is that he should know that he is riding on the mandate of the people. So he should not take the people of his constituency for granted. Just as we mentioned earlier, let him be coming from time to time and collaborate with the traditional leaders, the religious leaders, and also the tribe leaders, people like the Tepu Nation and other tribe leaders in the constituency. Because these people, they know the people better than him, and they are the ones that are working directly with the people. So if he can work with these people, I so much believe he will not have problem with the youth. And also, as we said earlier, let him have time to be having town hall meeting from time to time. That is when he will know the problem of the youth. That is when the youth will express their problem to him, and he will get to know them better. Because if he just decide to stay back there in Abuja and maybe using other people that are on ground to be hearing maybe the problem of the people, I don't think he will get to know actual problems on the ground. But at least
my advice to the honorable member, Dr. Obed Paul Shehu, is that please, from time to time, make time to go back to your constituency, have a town hall meeting, have a community meeting with the people that elected you. Please, do not behave like the other politicians will do. When they get to Abuja, they no longer remember who and who. They no longer remember their people. Listen to them. Give them room. A good leader is the person that listens to those that are under him. And whatever advice you are giving, honorable member, sir, take it with all seriousness. Get people, get your advisors, and discuss it with them. By so doing, solutions will be proffered. And I assure you that 2027, the sky would have been the beginning of your limit.
It's great to see an active engagement from the community. That feedback highlights both successes and the challenges that still needs to be addressed. Honorable Obed Shehu Paul's journey to the Green Chamber has been one of hard work and dedication. Let's meet the man of the moment.
Obed Paul Shehu was born on the 16th of November 1968. He is from Gombe State in the northwest region of the country. He worked with the National Health Service in the UK, where he spent almost a decade. He set up the first diagnostic center in Kaltungo. He is a member representing Kaltungo Shogom in the 10th National Assembly.
Schooled in Nigeria and schooled abroad as well in the United Kingdom. Worked in Nigeria and then worked abroad as well. I have a huge experience living while I was living in Nigeria. You know, schooled in the north, in the south, married from the south. And I represent the people of Kaltungo Shangon Federal Constituency in Gombe State. Elected in 2023, and this being the first term in. I have always had interest in human development. All my life, I have always taken strong interest in helping people to overcome their circumstances. At some point, when we came home on holidays, we found out that in our local hospital, they lacked basic diagnostic facilities. And that spurred an interest for us to do something about it. So we decided, along with my wife and the kids, to relocate back to Nigeria. And then we set up the first diagnostic center and clinic in Kaltungo. That's my hometown. We saw the impact it made to the healthcare delivery system that is in existence. And that pushed me to begin to ask questions as to why such commonplace facilities were not available. And so therefore, that began my journey into inquiring about governance and the governed. And so I began to relate with the local politicians to understand their challenges and why they do the things they do the way they do them. So I would think that that was the main thing that spurred me to join politics so that I can use that as a tool to advance the interests of the people.
The lawmaker has already spent a year in the Green Chamber as he navigates the challenges with being a first-time legislator.
Well, in every situation, if you are humble, you will learn. All first-timers are supposed to be in literally nursery school in terms of legislative activities. And I have dedicated myself over the last 12 months to understanding what the legislative process is all about. I was lucky that ab initio, when we broke on the first recess, that's around summer 2023, I didn't go on holiday, I stayed back, and I was working with a couple of ad hoc committees. That exposed me a lot to the way committees are run. By the way, committees are the engine room of legislative work. So I gained a lot of experience over that 2-month recess period. And when we resumed, I began to understudy my senior colleagues, how they engage legislatively on the floor of the House. And I think, by and large, over the past 12 months, I have gotten the rudiments of the complexity of legislative work. We are still toddlers. We're still learning. We'll forever be learning. But I think I will give a good fight now when it comes to legislative activities.
Human development is defined as the process of enlarging people's freedoms and opportunities and improving their well-being.
I'm most passionate about the development of the human being. Because if you don't develop the human being, then everything else will not come to fruition. Given the index of poverty in this country, I think it's very, very important that we pay attention to human development. And, well, education being the first thing, education, skill acquisition, that's training. Education is not just about acquisition of certificates. It's about being empowered, to generate jobs for yourself, and then hopefully you can employ others to make a contribution to the economy. If you look at the statistics in this country, the bulk of businesses that run in this country are private sector led, and they happen to be small businesses as well. So you can't run away from empowering people, training them to have skills to become self-employed. Because as it is now, that's the cornerstone of the economy. I'm very passionate about healthcare because that's, if anybody that is ill, obviously you really can't make any contribution to your family, much less your community. We have seen how difficult it is for people to afford basic healthcare. Indeed, if you look at the income of household incomes in most places, the bulk of their expenditure is out-of-pocket expenses on healthcare. So I think that places a lot of burden, on their economic status. So I think that's an area that I have huge interest in, to see how we can bring some sort of relief so that people can have access to qualitative but affordable health care.
The lawmaker says his people are his topmost priority and agriculture can never be overemphasized.
I'm also very passionate about agriculture. Again, it's human development related because without food, again, we can't really do much. So man must work. And in doing that, you must produce food that is good for human consumption. So if we have an opportunity, as much as possible, we would like to engage in the agricultural sector. In my community, where you have mostly farmers, that's a low-hanging fruit that we want to take advantage of to see the kind of contributions that we make to be able to get people to farm, not just to eat, but farm for their own economic good and sustenance. In that regard, it may interest you to know, we've just started a program. We're piloting a program where we've selected about 10 vulnerable people, about 6 women, I think, out of the 10, where we're financing ab initio all that it would take for them to produce crops on a hectare of land. from the beginning till harvest. We want to see how we can lift people up at that level of subsistence farming, because if inputs were their problems, we're going to provide that. If technical knowledge is their problem, we have extension workers that are working with us so that we can see what will happen if a man or a woman that has access to 1 hectare of land is given all the inputs that are optimal, what will happen to them at the end of a farming season. That's something we're doing, and when we get the results, we hope that we can apply it on a larger scale locally.
With every speech and every vote, the lawmaker is determined to make a difference.
Well, all developed nations, like the UK is, have made all kinds of sacrifices to be where they are today. What I have learned is the passion for their nations. And without that passion and the understanding that if you develop a nation, you are going to be a beneficiary of that development. For example, if I have good roads from here to Kaltungo, which is about 800 kilometers, it's not just going to be for myself, it's going to be for all other people that will ply that road. And so therefore, whether I'm traveling on the road or not, it's highly beneficial that I get other people to travel on good roads. So basically, the commonality of purpose and the intent of goodness that should cut across all the population of a nation is something that I've learned, and it's something that I intend to apply in my work as a legislator. And so therefore, I'm interested as a result of that, in any legislation that is on the floor or that will propose that will bring some sort of good, to the generality of the people. Patriotism is key. That's one thing that I've learned. And patriotism will, it engages the soul and the mind of citizens in a manner that they will see themselves as a part of a whole rather than single individuals, irrespective of creed, race, or whatever prejudices that they may have. So that is something that I've seen in a developed nation like the United Kingdom, and that's something that's influencing my thought process. And like most people that know me, I mean good for everyone, because if your neighbor is good to go, then you too, you're good to go and save. I wish to assure my constituents that I will do my best during my time in office to make sure that I deliver on the democratic dividends that is due to them. There are challenges in this country, we must all understand that, but if we are patient and focused, we will overcome them, and then we will smile. I will bring smiles by the grace of God to the people of Kaltungo Shangon Federal Constituency. They've given me their votes. They've trusted me, and I'm still the same old person. I've not changed, and I'm not going to change. I will do all I can to make sure that we fulfill the mandate that had been given unto us. God bless you all.
As the sun sets over Kaltungo and Shogom, the impact of legislative efforts shines brightly through dedicated hard work and deep commitment to his people. He is paving way for a prosperous and hopeful future.
I'm Abubakar Maki Eleman. I'm from Jigawa State. I represent Madam Kaugama Federal Constituency. Watch the program Feedback on NTA Parliament. Thank you.
As we come to the end of today's episode, join us next time as we dwell deeper into the lives of those who serve in the National Assembly. We leave you with the hopes and promises of a better and brighter tomorrow. See you next week, and my name is Joy, and the program remains Feedback on NTA Parliament.